Good day, ladies and gentlemen, my Dentasa executive members, our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Axel Grabowski, our Secretary and Office Administration Extraordinaire, Miss Elise Morris, and my fellow dental technician members. Welcome to what has been one of the most exciting Dentasa Summit and AGMs we have all been able to be a part of in one way or another. I also welcome any traders and participating presenters privy to our 2020 Dentasa AGM. Now, I'm sure you all agree, looking back at the past week of webinars from our very first all-digital summit and being able to reflect on this vast amount of knowledge that was shared, to be able to view not once, but as many times as we deemed necessary to grasp or understand the presented concepts of our industry, it is clear that we are not only progressively advancing this profession to better serve the public, but also embracing technology to empower, communicate, to educate, and equip every dental technician with the opportunity to produce custom-made medical devices to the best of his or her ability. It has been a privilege to once again share this annual collaboration with colleagues and friends, with past favorites and new emerging presenters, as well as future associates of Dentasa. They all have ensured that this year we have been able to meet up with every dental technician and interested party, whether in the office or in the laboratories, and even in their own homes. I would like to extend a well-respected and heartfelt thank you to each individual that formed a part of this year's digital exhibition, rendering it the most revolutionary and successful summit to date. The respect, time, and sacrifices made to ensure this success has proved that as individuals unified together, we can rectify any situation that presents itself and become unstoppable. Now, as much as the digital platform enables more possibilities and further reaching potential that we are definitely harnessing in the future, I do hope that 2021 will afford us the ability to engage on a more physical level and allow us to meet face to face once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this year's AGM. Since the inception of our new digital format that was proposed for our 2020 Dentasa AGM, I have not had any apologies presented to me either formally nor informally. I will therefore accept, ladies and gentlemen, that all members are to be present for this year's digital AGM. It is with great sadness that we, as the Dentasa family, lose members due to them passing, and this year we pay respects and tribute to the following: Mr. Chris Skutter from KwaZulu-Natal, that passed in the beginning of 2020, leaving his wife, and Mr. Itumeleng Motsepe, who passed during and due to COVID-19 complications. If there are any other colleagues that have passed and not been mentioned here today, we acknowledge them and ask that those who know of them inform the office so that we can add their names in remembrance. Ladies and gents, I ask therefore that in a show of respect to our fellow friends and colleagues that have passed this year, we observe a moment of silence in their memory. As we all are aware of the passing of Itumeleng Motsepe, fondly known to us as Tumi, who was one of our very close executive members and actively involved in this profession, serving not only on our Dentasa's Exco, but our Dental Technicians Fund, pension fund with Alexander Forbes as well. It is undoubtedly a great loss to our profession. I was asked to read this little piece in remembrance of our close friend. To me, you have been an inspiration to so many friends and students alike, not to mention your peers and even your tutors. You were the hope and the light in many a desperate moment, the voice of reason and understanding. You were timid to me, yet concise. You leave behind some big shoes to be filled, looking at you as a colleague, a friend, and even a father. You were a true role model. I take heart in the fact that you saw and shared your little girl's 5th birthday weeks before your passing. You and your family will always be remembered and will forever be a part of the Dentasa and dental technology family. Rest in peace, my dear friend, to me. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the fact that there is no provision made in our Constitution for any digital platform approval, nor participation of the minutes of the previous meeting, it can neither be accepted nor rejected as a true reflection of what transpired during our 2019 Dentasa AGM, and therefore the approval has to be postponed to the 2021 Dentasa Summit and AGM. Our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Axel Grabowski, will be addressing all, or at least most of the matters in his report. But if there are any queries, any other matters arising or questions that any of our members have, please do not hesitate to address them in writing or even telephonically to our offices for us to compile a document to be presented to the members for discussion within the next few weeks after the conclusion of this AGM. A Nobel Prize winner in literature, Frenchman André Gide, once wrote, and I translate, "It is better to be hated for being true to what you are than to be loved for being true to what you are not." Ladies and gentlemen, the year that has passed since our last gathering has seen some of the most challenging and adverse circumstances we in this profession have had to endure. We had to face the loss of freedom, the loss of health, of income, and ultimately the loss of life. If there was a time to realize the importance of every decision taken and the impact it has on our lives and the world that surrounds us, even if your world consists of only 80 square meters of laboratory, the year 2020 would be it. A clinical psychologist who wrote a study on the mental behavior of people noted that if patients decided to accept there are no problems presented to them, but only opportunities to find a solution, they are 90% more likely to find success and 100% more likely to anticipate the next opportunity to present itself. The past year has presented us with a multitude of opportunities, and I can say with absolute surety that this association has made every effort to search for the appropriate solution. As we know, the quality and standard of the results our UOTs produce in terms of students has been a concern for a number of years, and in spite of several meetings and opportunities to change and redirect course, the inevitable happened. After a fruitful meeting with the SADTC, it was made clear that no new students can be allowed to register at any of the UOTs, and for the first time, there are no first-year students enrolled to study dental technology in South Africa. This was indeed a sad day in our profession, yet ultimately a leap into the right direction, holding the core values of this profession and its services to the public at heart. Although a new syllabus has been proposed and accepted, it had yet to be signed in by the Minister. With the pandemic hitting South Africa and lockdown commencing during March, with almost no teaching and the possibility of a hands-on technical production in the classroom, I am sure this must be one of the most challenging years for any dental technician student. We, as Dentasa, would like to extend to them our encouragement to keep heart and wish them all the best for the rest of the year that awaits them, trusting that they will turn this opportunity into their solution for 2020. As for the lack of first years and syllabus, this lockdown may just be that silver lining. During the first few months of lockdown, I had to engage with an administrator at Alexander Forbes, who manages our dental technician employees' pension fund. And if this taught me anything, it is hindsight is 20/20 vision. This pandemic had many a laboratory owner reach out to government for support as their businesses were severely affected. This, in form of the TERS and UIF, resulted in employees not receiving income for a month or even late payment, and far less than their normal remuneration. The ripple effect of this was far-reaching, especially for the pension fund. Instead of applying the pension percentage on the average income the employee has received for the past 6 months, prior to the imposed lockdown, as was requested by Alexander Forbes, it was proposed that rather the administration as well as the risk and management fees be charged, as our fund administrator has legal and insurance obligations. I was, however, shocked to hear that less than 20% of employees are registered with the pension fund. Had this been more in line with the true amount of registered dental technicians, a payment holiday, as so many other companies have afforded their clients, could definitely have been considered by the fund. I would have to remind each employee that by law, it is your obligation to belong to the Dental Technician Employees Pension Fund, unless, upon presenting the fund of your choice, can match or better our pension fund's performance. I leave you with a thought from Ernest Jaboa, who stated, "Do not go through the day without pausing to ponder. You shall only retire one day and wonder." In South Africa, dental technology is recognized as a scarce skill, and with the implementation of the National Disaster Management Act, it rang so true that we were not even found on the essential services list published for COVID-19. This caused a lot of confusion, as the laboratory services mentioned in the essential services actually referred to pathology, pharmaceutical, and the alike. After bringing this to Council's attention, they made work of getting dental technology accredited as essential services under the Disaster Management Act. And as of the 11th of May 2020, our profession was officially recognized as part of these essential services, and dental technicians could travel for business with legal certainty. As the president of our association, I would like to thank each dental technician that kept on providing a service before and after the 11th of May 2020, for supporting our dentists and providing emergency, repair and replace services, restoring whatever part of hope and normality each patient that required assistance had lost, for selflessly putting others' needs before your own and playing a part in the support structure of our society, keeping safe and healthy for the sake of your family. Proving that even though we are recognized as scarce, together, unified as one, this profession can see any adversity as an opportunity and provide a solution. In light of the life-changing global pandemic event that has rocked the world's foundation for so many of us and leave countless more forever affected and changed, I leave you with this thought from Anthony Robbins, who stated, "The only impossible journey is the one you never begin." Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Within any association, there are people that always selflessly commit to the cause and sacrifice their time, effort and expenses for the vision that they believe in as a collective, without any remuneration or expectance of gratitude. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to afford each branch chairperson the opportunity to report on matters at branch level in each represented province.
Hello from the friendly city of Port Elizabeth. My name is Julian Nell. I am the chairperson of the Eastern Cape Dentasa branch. 2020 has no doubt been a less than ideal year for us all. However, we're still here. The Eastern Cape Dentasa members still enjoy a fantastic inter-lab relationship, the one we have always had. We have had good communication between the various dental laboratories and dental technicians, and maintained a good working relationship. Our members have been actively engaging within our branch, even though we were not able to have our usual Dentasa meetings in person. Dentasa membership has remained stable in our province. However, I would like to ask my fellow members to engage with non-Dentasa members, as we share a common interest, to better our profession. Together we can overcome the many obstacles we are currently facing and pave the way for future dental technicians. I would also like to thank my fellow executive committee members for their tireless work to help ensure the future of this profession. Thank you.
Hi, welcome from the KZN committee and team. Such a privilege to be with you guys today on this virtual seminar. Hope you guys are having a good time and that you will really benefit from the seminar. Just a word of thanks to the committee for the work they've done this year, Mr. David Naidu and Naeem Sidat from DUT. You guys have been awesome and your support has been wonderful in helping us promote the profession this year. So I'm really excited and grateful for that. I'm also very grateful to the suppliers that have partnered with us this year. You guys have really been amazing despite your difficult time with COVID and lockdown. So we do appreciate your support, and we really do look forward to the future with you guys. The virtual media platforms have allowed us to remain active as a Dentasa committee, and we have remained united and strong during the COVID lockdown, and we have been tackling the day-to-day issues and challenges in promoting the profession despite the lockdown regulations that were in place. So this just brought us to a place where we felt really optimistic about the remainder of this year, and we certainly are excited about 2021. As you know, KZN is a crucial province regarding the profession. We have the DUT, where we have students that are coming through yearly, and we're excited to be partnering with them and with the South African Dental Technicians Council and assisting them in improving standards and the quality of the education, and looking forward to the new young blood that is going to be produced from these institutions. So from us here in KZN, just thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to hearing from more of you here in KZN. Feel free to contact anyone on the committee that you feel comfortable with, or myself, by email or by phone. We're always available to listen to you and to deal with the problems within reason. And if we can't, then we just forward it to the relative parties in order to assist. So thank you very much again, and goodbye.
Hi, I'm Johan van der Vyver, your Dentasa South Gauteng branch chairman. 2020 started off pretty well. Then COVID-19 hit. Nothing could have prepared us for it. They say that when you get uncomfortable, that's when you grow the most. And boy, has it been uncomfortable. The last 6 months has been trying. It's probably an understatement. My wish for you is that you bounce back stronger and wiser. One thing's for sure. It's when we have faith, we have hope. And I pray that you'll keep the faith. I would just like to thank my branch members for the availability during the last year, for their loyalty, and for their input. We've had some very productive branch meetings last year. If I recall, we had 2 meetings last year. I had meetings planned early this year, but because of COVID, couldn't follow through. Also planned a nice social event, which we've had to put on the back burner, and hopefully before the close of this year we'll get together. We have now been forced to think outside the box, and let's see where this takes us. None of us have been there before. We're breaking new ground here. Please get involved. Dentasa needs you, your peers need you. Together we can make the change. Keep safe, God bless.
Good day, fellow Dentasa members. I am Marlene Miller, the Free State and Northern Cape branch chair lady. Where do we start when we look back on the year 2020? The worldwide COVID-19 pandemic was announced. We were forced to stay at home. We were forced to wear a mask when we went to go out the house, to the shops. Most of us had to use technology to communicate with friends, family, and colleagues, just to check up on them and keep in touch, because we were not allowed to go and have coffee or have a South African braai with them. We have probably washed and sanitized our hands more in the last few months than we have in our entire lives put together. It is also the year when no physical summit and AGM could be held, where we can meet face to face, share cases and learn from the lectures, where we can discuss them at teas and lunchtimes, and also have a word with the traders. And that is just because we are more than 50 people if we are all together. But with all the negative and changes, Dentasa came up with the very first virtual summit for its members. I want to thank the summit team for all their hard work, for putting the virtual summit together. But most of all, I want to thank you, the Dentasa member, for still believing in the Exco in this difficult time. I also want to thank the Exco for fighting for a profession that we all love so much. Back to branch matters in the Free State. With lockdown, I did not have a Dentasa branch meeting, and I'm planning on having one early in next year. I hope you all enjoyed the virtual summit and AGM this year, and hopefully we can all meet up again in 2021. I thank you all for listening from the City of Roses. Keep safe.
As the year went by, there was one individual that had the task of facing our grievances and taking our concerns to heart, searching not only for solutions, but engaging in dialogue, however uncomfortable or orthodox it may have been. This all for the betterment of our profession and our working environments that we find ourselves in on a daily basis. I present to you our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Axel Grabowski.
Good morning, everybody. I'd just like to give my annual report for 2020, which is a virtual summit. Mr. President, executive members, traders, virtual lecturers, and especially our loyal members, welcome to the 78th Dentasa 2020 virtual AGM. The first representative body of this profession was founded in 1942, and an AGM has been held every year without fail. This, however, is vastly different and has been quite a challenge. It is with sadness that I have to report the untimely passing of our colleague and Exco member, Tumaleng Motsepe. Our deepest and heartfelt condolences to his wife and family. Rest in peace, Tumi. We started in all earnest to look for a venue to host this year's summit and the AGM. We were particularly trying to find a venue that could host us in Pretoria, as it has never been afforded the opportunity to host this prestigious event. Unfortunately, the only venue that was suitable and that met with all our requirements was unaffordable. The search was on, and we eventually found a venue that met all our criteria. And then the pandemic of COVID-19 descended upon us and turned the entire world on its head. We realized around about May, June, that we had to seriously rethink as time was of the essence. This was when the decision was taken to enter uncharted waters and present the very first virtual summit in the AGM. And believe me, this was accompanied with a whole lot of new challenges. The AGM committee, consisting of Elise, Marianne, Melanie, and yours truly, rose to the occasion and are proud that we were able to present to you this summit today. Thank you, Naomi, for a very modern and funky design of the summit logo. Well done. The first weeks of lockdown, the office spent a lot of time assisting laboratory owners and employees alike to ensure that everybody had the correct permits to be able to travel to and fro from labs, dentists, and back home. These were terrible times and took its toll not only on the profession, but on life as a whole. It is undoubtedly going to take months to reach some sort of normality. Tough times. Many meetings that were supposed to happen during this time have been put on hold or cancelled, including all branch meetings. The consistent power outages are most certainly not helping, as all meetings are virtual. The office has been working from home since middle March, and as a cost-saving measure is now working from home permanently. So far, so good, as both Elise and I are still speaking to our respective spouses. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the newly elected and appointed members of the SADTC. May your term of office be fruitful. Our President Wayne Thornhill and I had an introductory meeting with the new President of Council, Professor Peter Owen, and the Registrar, Ms. Petunia Nkuna, via Teams. This meeting proved to be very fruitful, and it was emphasized repeatedly by Council that Dentasa and Council must have a close working relationship. The importance of the profession to get more involved at the UATs was also of utmost importance, especially with the liaison committees. The UATs, by legislation, must have these liaison committees in place. And so I appeal to all those living in the provinces that have universities to please get involved. The final exam marks of the third and fourth years in 2019 was, to say the very least, unacceptable. It is beyond comprehension that the failure rate at UET was over 80%, and I therefore appeal to you once again to get involved. Wayne, Marianne and I had a meeting with many of the students and the parents that failed, and the problem is so huge, and there is something seriously wrong at those institutions. The parents, as expected, are thinking of taking class action against the institutions in question. I've been co-opted to serve on the Education Committee of Council, and I'm happy to report that the first meeting that I attended, the marking rubric was finalized. This means that in full, all UATs will mark the work according to the same rubric. This Council document will go a long way to ensure a high standard of work is maintained throughout. The students will also get these rubrics well before the exams to ensure there can be no misunderstanding of what is expected of them. Unfortunately, we have not made much progress with PPM, and that is not due to the fact that no labs are interested, as over 60 labs sent me their required information. Time will tell if it works or not, but we remain positive as it is ongoing and Julian is driving it from PE. It pleases me to inform you that the last meeting with GEMS on the 3rd of September 2020, one of the agenda items from Dentasa was the ever-increasing cost of materials and the ever-decreasing payments by medical aids. It is a fact that dental technology has not kept pace with the inflation, the rand-dollar exchange rate, and CPI. After explaining to them that this association does not have the funds to employ actuaries and chartered accountants to recalculate the Arthur Anderson report, which is still very relevant today, GEMS offered their assistance free of charge with the necessary experts. Let us hope that this will happen, as it must benefit this profession. The Arthur Anderson report is a professional time and motion study that was done by Ironside Accountants in 1994. The new materials and procedures will have to be added. I sincerely hope that we can meet face to face again in 2021, as I am sure that you will agree that this was not an Oscar-winning performance in front of the camera. As Mahatma Gandhi said, the future depends on what we do in the present. I thank you.
As with every year, the association strives to be fair and transparent within the financials that governs the abilities to function as a non-profit association. The finances are available per request from the officers and begs your scrutiny as well as constructive insight, as this is our association that we need to preserve for generations to come. I ask Mr. Chris Polinsky, our Chief Financial Operator, to present to us the proposed budget for 2021.
Hi everybody and welcome again. This is your friendly CFO speaking. Yes, that's right. I was officially made into your CFO this year instead of acting. So great honor and privilege, I think, in managing the finances of Dentasa, and I certainly hope that I will not disappoint. So this year we've had certain challenges, like most of you, and we have actually got some good news regarding Dentasa's finances. One of the biggest things that took place this year is that we were finally registered as an NPO, and in doing so we had to relook and rethink the way in which we manage our finances. So some of the good news that's come out of it is that from next year, for 2021, Dentasa Exco has decided to not increase membership fees for next year. This was not just something to throw in there to create good news, was definitely the way forward, considering the fact that now our financial strategy has changed. This year we also took a big decision to vacate the premises which Dentasa was renting, which has also saved considerably on month-to-month rentals, water, lights, and telephone line expenses. We were able to then sell off most of the furniture that was in the office, and then that was left or not taken was then donated to people that were able to make good use of it. So we have now the office staff working remotely from home. We have them set up with phone lines and internet, and definitely a far more affordable option for Dentasa, and it seems to be working very well so far. With regards to the financial statements of Dentasa, they have been prepared and are available for every member to read on our website. Once you have had a look at them, those of you that are concerned or have any concerns, please feel free to contact either myself or one of the office staff in order to discuss your query or your problems or concerns that you may have regarding the finances of Dentasa. We do believe that we are moving in the right direction as a voluntary association, and I certainly do hope that we will be able to continue to work with our finances carefully and certainly reduce any wastage that we could incur, and definitely will continue to produce the same high level of service and results that we have been producing for the profession so far. So like I said, if there are any of you out there that are really concerned or have any issues, please feel free to contact either myself or the office, and we will gladly attend to your call. I thank you for your time, and I certainly hope you're enjoying the virtual seminar and that you're enjoying earning your CPD points in this fashion. We look forward to seeing you some other time again soon. Keep well, keep safe, and goodbye.
Every year, we see our association acquire new technicians, and this year is no exception. We as Dentasa would like to extend a warm welcome to our newly joined members, Mrs. Nadia Skuman and Mr. Andre Skitter. On behalf of Dentasa and as your president of the association, I welcome you as members and trust that you will find your membership invaluable. I also want to extend to you this opportunity to actively involve yourselves on branch level in your respective provinces. I am sure and confident that the association will unanimously accept your addition. We welcome you all. Due to the digital limitations, the executive members will hold a meeting within the next few weeks, and after all considerations have been taken into account, including but not limited to holidays, religious festivals, and public events, dates will be communicated with our members, and the most favored will then be allocated and published as the next Dentasa Summit and AGM for 2021. Unfortunately, the discussion and deliberation of matters at hand will not be able to be done or concluded on this digital platform as yet. However, the Dentasa Executive Committee has found it good to present our members with the opportunity to still engage in discussion via a Q&A document. I urge all members to take the time and pen down any matters that needs explanation or relative discussion, and we will construct a document with all the matters that has been raised and the answers or relative explanations correlating to them. This Q&A document will be made available the first few weeks after the closure of our digital summit and AGM for all members to partake in and familiarize themselves with what current matters are being addressed. I bring your attention once again to the fact that we as members need to understand the importance of equipping our Constitution with the necessary digital legislation to enable resolution on any decision. Although the Q&A document may address or even finalize outstanding matters, we are unable to vote as an association on the implementation of such decision. I implore you to utilize this opportunity and allow your executive committee to maximize the results and the time we will be afforded until our next AGM. Of course, many of these discussions will be continued at branch level as soon as we are legally able to meet within the bylaws of our current National Disaster Act. As it is with any event, whether great in scale or small in stature, it really is achievable without the support and the collaboration of many an individual. Having experienced this first-of-a-kind summit and AGM, it has to be noted, and of course their efforts and contributions, as well as continual support, to have made this association's annually anticipated event the tremendous success it has presented itself as in 2020.
A massive thank you to each and every person who made this event such a huge success. From our sponsors, traders, local and international speakers, our Dentasa President Wayne Thornhill, our organising committee Marianne Roots, Axel Gabrowski, Elise Morris and Melanie Killian. You pulled off an outstanding event in a very, very short space of time. And then, of course, you are members, without whom none of this would be possible. You are Dentasa, and may we all look forward to new things, hope and faith. Take care. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we have reached the end of another successful summit and AGM, I can say that I am proud to be a part of the dental technicians family in South Africa, and in particular, a part of this association representing us, called Dentasa. We as technicians have shown through one of the most challenging years in the history of mankind that we can and will unify as one when faced with the impossible to create opportunities and make anything possible. I thank every member for your participation and selfless contribution to this year's very first all-digital Dentasa Summit and AGM. Until we meet and gather again, hopefully at one venue for our next summit and AGM, I wish you all a progressive year ahead. As I close this Dentasa AGM of 2020, keep healthy and keep safe. Thank you.